Yo, what's going on, guys? Don't Press That here, bringing you a brand new episode of Movie Mondays. This episode, we're going to be talking about the movie Unbroken. Just to let you know, there will be spoilers, so if you want to go ahead and click off, I suggest now is the time to do so. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the review. Before, I want to say, in The Hobbit, I'm pretty sure I said let's get into the interview. That's because I've been watching Keemstar, I'm sorry, So let's go ahead and get right into the review. Unbroken was something my friends wanted to go see, and I just needed something to do. I had no idea what this movie was, what it was about, but I was just, I'm always down to go see movies. I love watching movies. So this movie was a war movie, but it started off very inspirational, like a kid who was doing bad things, drinking and smoking, trying to be the cool kid, letting his family down. And he turned his life around because his brother, or I think it was his brother, who believed in him. Yeah, it was his brother, and made him practice for the track team, and he got really good. He went to the Olympics, and all of a sudden he was in a war, and a lot of misfortunate things happened. A bunch of his buddies died, but they landed, and then they had to go on a rescue mission, and then their plane crashed, and only 3 of them survived, and then they had to spend it was almost 2 months out at sea, surviving sharks and storms, and the sun, and one guy does die. His name's Mac or something. It kind of got confusing because how do I explain this? The dude was Italian, and throughout the 2 months, I think they got different actors because he looked nothing alike at the beginning of the movie, and then, of course not, it was a kid, but who played the really athletic version of this guy, and then the very scrawny version of this guy. It had to be 2 different people, I'm pretty sure. Because their face, I got confused there for a while when they were floating out at sea. And this is during World War II is when we fought the Japanese, I'm pretty sure. And I'm not going to say anything rude against the Japanese because I did a TV Tuesdays. Oh, my bad. A TV Tuesday on an anime show, and I love everything the Japanese have to offer us. I'm not being held at gunpoint. I just really like Japanese culture and what they've brought to us and all that. So they get captured by the Japanese and basically put in little cells and tortured. Yeah. And then they get put into a detention camp. The 2 guys that survived the raft separated. And this is all based on a true story, by the way, which is really cool. He got put into a detention camp who had a very rough leader. Excuse me. And, I guess the leader thought those 2 were going to be friends because the guy was strong, whatnot, I don't know. But he was so weak, the leader asked him to do an Olympic, or do a race with one of the other Japanese people, and he couldn't do it because he was so weak. But for some reason, he gave him the chance to get out. He had to go do a radio broadcast telling his family that he was okay. And then they gave him another script, saying, I didn't get a chance to read it. It was kind of tiny, and it was only on screen for about 5 seconds. And I'm pretty sure it had, hating the U.S. on it. And I guess 3 other guys did it, but he wouldn't do it. He had a chance to be free, but he stuck up for the USA and went back to camp, which is surprising. I don't know if I would have the power to do that after all of that just went down. So he goes back to getting beaten. He had to get punched in the face by every single one of the other camp members. Eventually the U.S. attacks the camp, and they get moved to a different camp where the leader is still the same leader. Like, he was gone for like a day, and then the U.S. attacked, and they thought they were free from this cruel leader, and then they go back to this new camp, and he's the leader again. And that's where the main person... I should have looked this up. I forgot the name. I forgot the guy who died on the raft. Or I remembered the guy who died on the raft, but not the main man. I think his name was like Leo, Lonnie. It started with an L, I know that. But he was pushed to the test. Like, they threw him off like a little platform with a hunk of coal, or a basket of coal on his back, and like hurt his leg real bad, and then he had like hold this granite thing. I don't know, but he survived, and he looked the guy in the eyes, and he didn't like to be looked in the eyes, and then he started beating the crap out of the main guy, and then it was something else. So if you like war movies, it's a really good movie to go check out. Wow, I've been talking for 6 minutes nonstop. If you really like war movies, it's a really good movie. I like to watch the credits at the end, and it was made by Angelina Jolie. I didn't know she made movies like this, or made movies at all. I thought she just starred in them. The guy died, or passed away this year. He raced in the Olympics again at the age of 80, which was really cool. They had a clip of him actually doing that. Not actually racing, but going back to where Japan, like when he was 80, he went back to Japan and visited all of his captors, and just wanted to go back to Japan. And the only person who didn't want to meet with him was the bird, the mean, cruel guy. So, yeah. That's all I've got to say about Unbroken. If you really like war movies, go check it out. If you like this episode, hit that like and subscribe button. If you've seen Unbroken, please tell me what you think in the comments below. I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Get down, get up, get